listening to The Mortgage Scientists, exclusively on the Pod Station.
Hi, I'm Dave Forrest.
I'm Chris Hume. Together, we are the Mortgage Scientists.
Hello, Chris.
Happy Christmas, Dave.
Happy Christmas.
We're here,
We're here. It's the Christmas special.
It is a Christmas special.
We said we were going to do one. We're here. We're doing it.
All that money that we spend at Christmas, mate. Where's it go?
I know. So we're going to have a little chat about what does Christmas mean in our world and for people with mortgages and maybe lenders, things like that. See how that goes.
There's a lot that we spend more than we anticipate.
Yeah.
Some of it might end up on credit cards. Some of it might come from savings. And I suppose part of it is looking at how that might affect things when you then get to January and you're looking back at those bills thinking, oh, hang on a minute.
I suppose looking at the worry, because people can worry about spending over Christmas or they feel they have to spend. But that's then going to have an effect, isn't it? Maybe on your future plans or what you can do to getting a mortgage or borrowing and stuff like that. I suppose we'll cover some of that stuff. Maybe cover some of the stuff, what we see from lenders. Things do shut down over Christmas as well. So the house buying process is different, isn't it?
It is. And I think the elements of you kind of get through Christmas and you start January and you're like, oh, this is fantastic. Going to get the house done. Let's remortgage. Let's borrow some money to get some home improvements done. Or first time buyers might be going, right, this is our year. This is the year we're going to buy our first house. Fantastic. It's exciting. But how does that Christmas debt factor into how lenders might view that?
Your first time buyers and people who've not done it before probably don't think too much about it, but I'm sure you've had is people as you're getting, well, I'm going to be spending over Christmas. What's that going to do to me? So they do think about it. So should we start off with spending over Christmas? How does that look? How does that feel? What does that do to your profile and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think the elements are that when you're looking to buy a house or mortgage a house, lenders will look at the debt that you've got, whether that's loans or credit cards. That will have an adverse effect on how much you could borrow on a mortgage. And if those credit cards build up over Christmas and you then pay them off over 3, 4, 12 months, that's going to have an effect on how much you can borrow. Whilst credit cards are a very useful tool for purchasing, particularly if you're buying things online, because you do get that consumer protection on purchases over £100, that credit card debt, when you want to borrow money for that house in the future, can have an adverse impact. So it's just about being aware, isn't it, Dave?
I think probably what we always say when we're discussing a subject is discuss things with your broker. If you've got a broker or get a broker, discuss it before, as early as you can tell someone that what you want to do and start to plan. It'll help, won't it? I do always say to people, look, you can't stop living your life just because you want to maybe buy a house or you want to remortgage or you want to move. You can't stop living your life, and you'll always see the spending on your December, say, bank statements is going to be a little bit different, isn't it? Maybe if you're going to be buying something big, I mean, I don't know, I've not bought my wife a car for Christmas yet, but if
you buy a holiday for her.
But buy a holiday, possibly maybe December, January, a holiday is a big purchase, isn't it? It could be something that could affect your borrowing in, say, January or February or something like that.
Yeah, and also the higher that credit borrowing is, whether it's loans or credit cards, can have an adverse effect on your credit score as well. That can have an impact on how lenders will view your credit worthiness as to whether they want to lend to you.
We discussed, didn't we, on the credit score episode, it's not much difference between passing and failing, or maybe getting one rate and getting another rate. If your credit score just changes a little bit, or say both of your credit scores change, that could mean you're not going to a certain lender, we're having to go somewhere else. It is a bit of planning, I think. What about savings? Because obviously people will maybe deplete the savings. That might be the deposit they're using.
It could be. Savings then get used for things over Christmas, not only from the point of a deposit or for the holiday. It might force credit borrowing if those savings are used for other things, but also savings are primarily, that initial sort of element of savings is your emergency fund. Trying to rebuild that emergency fund for if the washer breaks, if the car needs something doing, if the roof leaks. Having those savings there is a really important thing to have if for any reason you just need an amount of money at an instant.
And I suppose the thing about spending on the Christmas period, it can cause a few worries for people. They feel like they've got to spend, so they go and do it, or they feel a bit under pressure. I know one of the things we sort of try and say is about the scams that are out there as well. There's more and more online scams, isn't there? So you were saying you had about 6 emails from DHL.
Alleging to be from DHL, asking me for all sorts of address and payment information. I think the thing with the scams is just be aware. Have a look at any text message, emails or communications that you get and just analyse it. Generally, the scammers aren't personalised to you as an individual. It will be dear customer. They'll generally be spelling mistakes. The email address that it's from won't actually have a DHL or email structure with it. If you do get an email asking you for urgent personal financial information, just take a moment, ignore that email, go directly to a link that you know is good and works rather than anything in a text message or an email. Just be aware. There are elements whereby if you're buying things over £100 and you purchase them online using a credit card, there is an element of consumer protection there where your credit card provider can assist you if there are issues with anybody that you've bought from.
We're just going to go to a commercial break. We'll be back after this short message.
Do you have a passion, hobby, or expertise and want to share it with the world? Why not do a podcast? The Pod Station offers a wide range of packages to make this a reality, ranging from training and support for those who have no idea where to begin, to podcasters who just need somewhere to host their show. With prices starting at a mere £15 per month, you can now get involved in one of the fastest growing entertainment forms in the world without all the headaches. To find out more, visit thepodstation.co.uk/station-packages. And remember, those with passion, podcast. This episode is sponsored by Dunkin' Biscuits, a biscuit lover's guide by Chris Hugh.
One scam which is prevalent throughout the year really, to send in a deposit to your solicitor. That's something whereby it's become a bit more where, you know, you might get an email from your solicitor saying, we've changed our bank details, please send a deposit to this. I really do inform my clients that when you get your email to say, right, we're going to complete on your new house, please send us all the money. I do always say, take a minute, have a cup of coffee, give me a call and we'll discuss it, because it's a bit like Christmas and you've got some people moving in over Christmas as well, haven't you? So you're in a heightened state of, oh my God, I've got to get this over, I've got to do it, and it's so easy done, isn't it? And there's no protection on that if you do that, is there?
It's very difficult to get your money back if you send money directly to an incorrect account. Sometimes a double check mechanism is just to send £10. Check it with the solicitor that they've got that £10 in their account, and you can then have that comfort.
Deposits are big sums of money. You will sometimes have some people buying cash, effectively a cash sale. You've got assets that you can buy that house without a mortgage. You'll be transferring the whole amount for that property. I think everyone needs to be aware of those things and just take a step back. Again, it's a bit like the Christmas thing, isn't it? You're getting parcels, you're excited, and you think, oh my God, someone sent me a parcel, when they haven't really. I think it's just making everyone aware. You've just got to be careful.
Yeah, definitely. It's being careful about not being scammed by online scammers. It's thinking about the money that you're spending, where you're spending it, and if you are planning to move house, to remortgage, or borrow something for a car or a holiday in the new year, even in that first 6 months of the new year, just have a plan as to how you're going to clear those cards, how you're going to get those balances down again without having to resort to leaving them forever and a day.
Yeah, part of the Christmas period, from our point of view, from a work point of view, we start to think about it, don't we, in September, October, because you have people buying houses and wanting mortgages, and probably around about the end of September, am I going to be in for Christmas? And there's that sort of period where we start to say, well, maybe, you might be, you know, it depends on the transaction. As you get into October, you do start to warn people, don't you? You're probably not going to be in for Christmas. It's probably going to be in the new year. The solicitors certainly shut down for 2 weeks, don't they?
I'd like to shut down for 2 weeks.
I know. That doesn't happen, does it? We're getting into now 2 weeks up to Christmas. We still have got some completions, and there's always one or two that just complete in the Christmas week. Why you do that, I don't know. I know I've been there where I've been selling a house and moving, and it didn't happen over Christmas, and you really don't want to put the decorations up that last year, do you?
No.
You know, it just doesn't seem worth it. But then you sometimes have those people who it's not going to happen. Oh, we won't put the decorations up, and then, oh, it is going to happen.
It is going to happen.
You know, or we're going to put them up and not put them up, or whatever the case may be. So it can be a little bit of a stressful time for our clients on that corner. You don't know whether it's going to happen. And this sort of end of the year, this Christmas period, everyone looks forward to it, maybe kids and holiday and stuff like that. It can cause a bit of stress, I think.
Can cause a bit of stress with that borrowing, but on the other side of it, there's a lot of technology gifted at Christmas. New phone, new tablets. I'll say iPad.
Yeah,
the tablets are available. There's a lot of people spend Christmas on the property search sites looking for new houses.
Yeah.
They've got a bit of downtime, you know, and they're looking at what's for sale out there, what might they get for their house. Yeah. And I think that's the point where you should also be looking for your broker.
Yeah.
Yes, by all means, start looking at what the properties are that's out there, but at the same time, start to think about, right, I need to engage my broker,
Yeah.
I need to have a chat with Dave, I need to have a chat with Chris, and include them in that process of we're just having a think.
Yeah, I don't know whether this is an urban myth, or I believe that the busiest day on Rightmove is Boxing Day. I believe I've been told that. I don't know whether that's true, so please don't hold me to that, but I believe it's Boxing Day because many things happen, don't they? To sort of point, Christmas Day's out the way, you've had all the turkey and all that, and the next day it's time to move, or it's time to get ready for the spring or the summer, so you're going to move, or possibly you don't like each other anymore and you're going to move on, something like that. It seems to be a busy time.
It is a busy time. The overriding element with Christmas is that you want to enjoy it as best you can, but you don't want to overcommit yourself with debt, spending unnecessarily. And if you do borrow money to support that enjoyment over Christmas, have a plan to pay it off.
Yeah. And again, I'm going on me sort of urban myths here, but I've heard that one of the busy days for actually mortgage applications is Christmas Day, about 3 o'clock. You know, when everyone's had and again, you've maybe some people applying direct online, because lenders are pretty much open 24 hours a day nowadays, aren't they? And we won't be in, there will be Chris to do any. We won't be in. I have heard of a couple of brokers who maybe have got a couple of applications to do and they sit there Christmas Day and maybe do them. I don't know whether that's true, but I have heard it. I certainly don't do it anyway. It's amazing, isn't it, how a lot of things do shut down, but self-employed people are still out there and they can work. So if you need an application doing on Christmas Day, maybe we can find someone who'll do it for you.
Christmas should be enjoyed, not at the expense of putting yourself under financial stress.
Yeah, but again, as we always say, if something's coming up, have a chat with your broker, start to plan early. You should start planning 6 months out if you're going to do something. At least 6 months, really. It's not a long time, is it?
Not
to start planning, start having a look at it, and if you want to move.
That's been great, Dave. Good to catch up.
That's probably about it then, Chris, isn't it?
Yeah, I think we've covered the main things there, Dave.
Probably just remains to say, all our listeners out there, hopefully there's loads, have a fantastic Christmas. Looking forward to 2026.
And the new year.
Yeah, have yourself a lovely Christmas, Chris.
Will do indeed, and you as well, Dave.
And
we'll catch up in the new year.
To find out more, email info@themortgagescientist.co.uk.